Hello everybody, welcome back to another flashlight review, and this time it is the Nitecore P10i. Now I've done a bunch of Nitecore reviews for you, and all of them have been good lights. I still use all of them for different purposes. You'll see kind of a mixture of them later on when I do the tabletop stuff for this. But Nitecore has been a fantastic light company. Their stuff, I think, is very evenly priced, and I think they perform as good, if not better, than a lot of the popular options out there. With that said, this particular flashlight review holds a couple records for me. This has been the harshest, not only longest running review for a light that I've ever been able to do, but also the hardest. And when I mean by hardest, I mean this light has gone through more abuse than any other light I've ever reviewed. Before we get into some of the abuse footage, let's go through some of the specs for this light. It is 1800 lumens with a 21,100 candela output. Really good output, 290 meter beam. So something that is a relatively small package with a nice long beam makes this for a good daily flashlight. This is a good all-around home and tactical use flashlight. It's got a max runtime on its lowest setting of 50 hours. Now it'll run off two CR123 batteries or one 21700 battery, which is what is in this. Now there are 4 modes to this. There is a high, medium, and low. Very good of them. And it does have a strobe, but the strobe is a little harder to find. You have to do a long press. I'll show you in the tabletop. You have to do a long press of the momentary button in order to find the strobe. Again, I hate strobes. I can't wait for the day that flashlight companies stop putting strobes, and one of the things I like that Nitecore has done is made strobes hard to find. You have to intentionally activate the strobe by a nice long hard press in order to do so. I think that is good. Now it's just over 5 3/4 inches long with a head diameter of 1 inch, pretty standard size for this type of flashlight. And as of the recording of this video, depending on where you find it from, the store you find it from, they're coming in at right around 80 bucks. So this being February 14th of 2021, I'm not sure what that price will do in the future, but right now they're coming in at right around 80 bucks. Not a bad price for a flashlight of this quality, of this durability, and this power. So what have I done to it? Well, I did the standard drop test. Boring. And then the not so standard drop test. This is also the first time I've ever run over a flashlight. And of course, I did the water test. Now, of course, heat and electronic components rarely go together. So I let this thing, as I usually do with flashlights, roll around the windshield of my truck. It's been getting near 80 degrees, which puts it into the 90s in the direct sunlight of my windshield. I know that's not as hot as it could be, but I'm not going to throw it in the oven. I'm not going to melt the plastic on purpose just to see what it'll take. I consider that average to harsh daily use, throwing it up there, letting it rattle around, letting it bake in the sun for days on end, and it passed that just fine. Now, without further ado, let's get down to the tabletop and check out this thing and all its bumps and bruises and scars up close. All right, so here it is, the Nitecore P10i. Some up close view of it. You can see where some of the aluminum, I've actually smushed some of the aluminum out of the way, gouged it out, where it's got a bunch of dings and dents and bruises and all that stuff. I guess that's what happens when you abuse a product to try to get it to fail, and it doesn't fail. So, Nitecore P10i, got some nice knurling around it. Not a bad size, it fits the hand very well. Got a soft button back here. Comes with a replacement button, and this is the strobe here. Or if you have it on, you have to long press it to hit the strobe. So that is high, medium, low, back to high. You do not have to do the full click. You can just push it to get it to work, which is nice. USB-C charging. USB-C charging right there under this waterproof cap. There's a look at the LED and cone in there. And the bezel has a nice standoff on it. Pull the cap off here to get your battery out. This came with the NL2140 4000 mAh Nitecore battery. Now, I have used this for long periods of time, and it does get warm, and it warns you of that right here. It does get warm, but it doesn't get so incredibly hot like some other flashlights that it's almost hot to the touch. There is an LED right here that lets you know charging status. Now, one of the things it comes with is this holster. It's a belt holster. You can actually change the location of these for the size of your belt, and it just goes right in like so for a outside like duty carry belt holster. You may have noticed the lack of a clip on it. That's because that's the one thing that I broke. I broke the clip. But that is not to say I broke the clip through normal use. I was wearing a pair of pants that has like triple thick stitching and layering in the corner of the pocket, and the clip was a little too tight, and I was bending, and it kept springing back to where it was, and I finally got it out to almost a 90, probably around right here, and it snapped. So that was over abuse on my part. I'd stretch it out to here, let it go, and it'd spring right back, stretch it out to here, and spring right back. And it wasn't until I got it almost to a 90 that it actually broke. So I don't blame Nitecore for that. That was me being, well, stupid brutal to this thing. So let's see what this looks like a little bit out in the field. So here it is, out in the desert with it. Lights up stuff really well. I have the camera as close to what my eye sees as possible, but it's still a little darker on camera than it is in real life. Here's my truck. We're gonna take a walk and see when we can stop seeing my truck, basically. So that is 50 yards. There's 100 yards. Now I can see my truck plain as day, but the camera's starting to not be able to pick it up as well. But yeah, this thing's nice and bright. So again, this is an overall pretty impressive light. It's taken a bunch of abuse. Those are other 3 lights that I have from them. It's taken a bunch of abuse, and I'm really happy with it. Now, I've said it before and I'll say it again. As long as Nitecore keeps making lights this durable, at a good price range with the kind of power that these have. And you guys know I've been through the Lumens versus Candela before. These guys pack a lot of Candela for the lumens that they're putting out and for the size of the product. So I think they're right there in the running with all the major competitors. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to check out rttgunsgear.com. It's a website. I'm putting out a whole lot more stuff on that lately. Also, if you want to support the channel, check out patreon.com, and that link is down below. I am back on Facebook, at least for now. I've kind of finagled my way back in there. So there is RTT Guns and Gear Facebook page once again, starting to build that back up. So if you're over on that platform, go check that out. And of course, check out all the other social media links down below. Thanks for watching. We'll talk to you later.